What's up guys, welcome back to another video on Mr. Junior Dev. I hope you are all well and let's get to it. Conditional statements, if statement. We often perform a task based on a condition. For example, if the weather is nice today, then we will go outside. If the alarm clock rings, then we'll shut it off. If we're tired, then we'll go to sleep. In programming, we can also perform a task based on a condition using an if statement. So if true, console.log this message will print. Prints this message will print. Notice in the example above we have an if statement. The if statement is composed of the if keyword followed by a set of parentheses, which is followed by a code block or block statement, indicated by a set of curly braces. Inside the parentheses, a condition is provided that evaluates to true or false. If the condition evaluates to true, the code inside the curly braces runs or executes. If the condition evaluates to false, the block code won't execute. Let's make an if statement. Alright, using the let keyword, which is a reusable variable, or you can reassign this variable using the let keyword. Declare a variable named sale. Right, so sale, and assign the value true to it. Okay, so let sale equal true. Okay. Okay, now create an if. So now create an if statement. Provide the if statement a condition of sale. So inside the code block of the if statement, console.log the string time to buy. So let's start off with the if statement, and we're just going to put sale in the parentheses. Because if we say if sale, it means if sale is equal to true. So if sale is truthy, basically, then you don't actually have to say if sale is equal to true. You don't have to set it equal to true like so. See, you don't need to do that. You can just say if sale, which is the same as if sale is equal to true. So that is truthy. Then console.log. Let's see what they tell us. Okay, so inside the code block of the if statement, console.log the string time to buy. Oops. Let's run that. Alright, I forgot the semicolon here at the end. Okay, so notice that the code inside the if statement ran since time to buy was logged to the console below the sale variable declaration, but before the if statement reassign sale to false. Run your code and observe what happens. We'll be changing this behavior in the next exercise. So below sale variable declaration, but before the if statement. Reassign sale false. Nothing happened. Right, moving on. Conditional statements, if-else statements. In the previous exercise, we used an if statement that checked a condition to decide whether or not to run a block of code. In many cases, we will have code we want to run if our condition evaluates to false. If we wanted to add some default behavior to the if statement, We can add an else statement to run a block of code when the condition evaluates to false. Take a look at the inclusion of an else statement. If false, console.log, the code in this block will not run. Else console.log, but the code in this block will. An else statement must be paired with an if statement, and together they are referred to as an if-else statement. In the example above, the else statement uses the else keyword following the code block of an if statement. Has a code block that is wrapped by a set of curly braces. The code inside the else statement code block will execute when the if statement's condition evaluates to false. If-else statements allow us to automate solutions to yes or no questions, also known as binary decisions. Instructions: add an else statement to the existing if statement. Inside the code block of the else statement, console.log the string time to wait for a sale. So inside that very same code block with the if statement, add the else if. So an else state, not an else if, an else statement, right? So we don't even need to set the condition, because obviously if the cell is equal to true, else, then obviously the cell will only be able to equal to false. So there's no other condition that would need to be met. So you can just put else, and you can just console.log string that is needed for the false statement. Time to wait for a sale. Okay, I'm going to run it. As you can see, we reassigned the variable over here. We took sale, we reassigned it to false. So, and as you can see, time to wait for a sale.